With our top focus story as the world awaits Chandrayaan-2, India's mission to the moon is all set to create history just hours from now. Now, in the early hours of September 7th, Chandrayaan-2 will attempt to land on the southern pole of the moon. Now, if Chandrayaan-2 is successful, it will make India the fourth ever country to land on the moon and the first ever country to do so in the unexplored South Pole region. Prime Minister Modi is set to be present at the ISRO Center in Bengaluru to witness Chandrayaan's landing on the moon. All right, this is of course going to be extremely historic. India's step there on the moon. Today is its date with the moon. Remember, a month and a half after it took off from the launch pad at Sriharikota, traversing a distance of over 384,000 kilometers on a predefined path, Chandrayaan-2 is now ready to face its moment of truth. And as it is said, the last 15 minutes is going to be that terrifying moment as it attempts to make a soft landing on the moon. It is, of course, going to be looked at with highest anticipation across the globe and a lot of anticipation there for all Indians. It is, of course, going to be a very proud moment there for every fellow Indian as Chandrayaan-2 gears up to its landing. It is, of course, going to be ISRO's toughest test that is going to be coming up. And Prime Minister is going to be present at the ISRO Center in Bengaluru. It is going to be extremely significant. Remember, later tonight, its lander module, which is Vikram, which has already detached itself from the main spacecraft and has been moving independently for the last 3 days, will begin what ISRO Chairman K. Sivan has repeatedly described as, quote-unquote, the most terrifying of 15 minutes of his journey. The final descent off the moon's surface from the nearest point in its current orbit. So it is going to be extremely crucial to see a history in the making of sorts with India's trying to land on the moon, historic moon landing just hours away. Let me go across to my colleague Pramod Madhav, who's joining me live with further updates on this. Pramod, it is going to be extremely crucial to see, and all eyes anticipating it. It is not just in India, across the world. Everybody looking at this particular feat of what is going to be achieved. But give us a sense of what is happening, the kind of preparations, and what is the itinerary in place.
Well, we could simply say that, imagine almost 4 decades back, it was United States that actually landed on the moon with astronauts. But that kind of enthusiasm we could see once again over here because it's India, it's ISRO, and having the kind of the achievements ISRO has done. Even today morning, they have done a very, very commendable job. What ISRO has done is that they have released a 3.4 minutes video where they have actually given the technology how they are using it. In fact, they have very clearly mentioned that about 30 kilometers when the rover is going, the lander, as it moves around the moon, its movement from a horizontal phase will be converted into a vertical phase, and from there the speed will be decreased. In fact, they're also trying to tell them that the kind of mechanism it's going to be used. They are using altimeters, they are using laser viewfinders to find out the exact location where it can land. Such kind of technological demonstration, it seems like they're already taking a class to the other nations who want to actually achieve this marvelous feat, and that itself is commendable. In fact, I have a couple of students with me. So what do you think about Chandrayaan-2, and what kind of wish would you like to give to ISRO?
Yeah, this is a proud moment for all of us, and especially for the student community. This serves as an inspiration. So we are the first country to land on the south pole of the moon, and we are going to explore the water and other mineral resources there. And this part of the moon has not seen the light of the sun for many years, and this will give us an insight of the origin of solar system and the universe. So I think for Indians, there is nothing out of reach. Indians can achieve anything. So we have proved to the world what we are.
So this is another step for India to prove in a very, very, very decent manner, very nice manner that if I can do that, you can do that. That kind of only the way ISRO is handling it. So what do you think about the Chandrayaan-2, and what kind of wish would you like to give to ISRO?
Yes, he said it's indeed a prestigious and most important moment for India. I believe after China and US and Russia, India is fourth country to soft land and moon, and I think it's not just a proud moment for India. It's important feat for all over the world, and indeed important point in lunar space research. So I think it's a very important, commendable feat. So thanks to ISRO and very happy for us.
Well, it makes every Indian happy and feel great because, like, imagine ISRO is going to do that. Yes, the project director Shivan, the head of ISRO, claims that it's going to be a reign of terror for 15 minutes, but it's not like that because ISRO has already finished 75% of the mission. It's going to be difficult, but at the same time, we have to know that ISRO has done great things in the first reach itself. And here also, it seems like mostly they are depending on artificial intelligence. It seems like the lander will have its own, will make its own decision as to what kind of distance at what kind of speed it should actually go down. And the thing is that all the sensors that has been embedded has also been very clear. They are claiming that they are using a throttle kind of technique to actually reduce the speed. The best part is that ISRO
Okay.
already releasing information for the entire world to know what they are doing. That itself is commendable.
Absolutely, and in fact, it is ISRO's toughest test that is coming up, and as the director has pointed out, it is the terrifying last 15 minutes that is going to be extremely crucial to look at. Now, Pramod, request you to stay with us. Let's also tell our viewers how the entire nation is really gearing up, because over 60 lucky school students have been chosen to witness Chandrayaan's 2 landing on the moon, along with Prime Minister Modi in ISRO's center in Bengaluru. Now, 2 students were chosen from each state after they participated in ISRO's online space quiz contest. Selected students answered 20 questions in the shortest amount of time. One of them is Yusra Alam from West Bengal, who said she took the quiz along with her friends and could not believe that she has been chosen. Let's listen to what she has to say.
हमको क्या कहते हैं चंद्रयान 2 का जो लॉन्चिंग होगा मून पे वो 7th को होगा, वही हम उसको देखने जाएंगे हम लोग के प्राइम मिनिस्टर के साथ। हम लोग स्कूल में जो है हमारे टीचर्स ने बताया था कि एक ISRO क्विज कंपटीशन हेल्ड कर रहा है, तो उन्हें बोला सबको पार्टिसिपेट करने। हम लोग घर आए, हम लोग सब दोस्त लोगों ने डिसाइड किया कि हम पार्टिसिपेट करेंगे और फिर हम लोगों ने अपना ट्राई किया और आप सिलेक्टेड। जी,
इंडिया के लिए ये एक सिग्निफिकेंट डे है कि चांद में हमारा रॉकेट जो है लैंड करेगी, चंद्रयान 2, और ये पूरी दुनिया इसका गवाह होगा। और पूरी भारतीय के साथ मैं भी गर्वित हूँ कि ये काम अंजाम दे रहे हैं हमारे साइंटिस्ट, और हमने साइंस, टेक्नोलॉजी, स्पेस साइंस में हमने इतना तरक्की किया है कि हम अब चांद में भी रॉकेट भेज रहे हैं। इंशाल्लाह आने वाले दिन में आदमी भी भेजेंगे चांद में।
Let me go across to Pramod now, who's joining us. Pramod, we just heard the little girl there speaking about how she's anticipating to witness that launch, the historic launch with Prime Minister Modi. And like her, there are several students who have been invited to the ISRO Center to witness this launch in a way that is going to be extremely important in the way they decide their career and their love for the space, and that they're going to pick it up later on from there.
It definitely is a kind of inspiration. And imagine all for small children, any children who's going to watch this magnificent feat on the television, they are going to be definitely inspired, because going to the moon is not a big deal. I mean, it's not any easy job. At the same time, ISRO is making it very easy, and not just that, every step they take, they have been constantly updating that this is what they are doing. And if you could actually see their Twitter timeline, it's made very child-friendly also. That way, even a small child could understand what they are doing. That's the best part. They are explaining each and every step, what is a lunar trajectory motion, how this particular composite module will be traveling from Earth to moon, how it ended up there, and what speed they are going to reduce, altitude. Everything is explained one by one. The very, very interesting part is that it is also actually kindling the curiosity of anyone who's actually watching it, because they want to know what ISRO is doing. They are giving the information. If they want more information, they can simply Google it, and they're also getting it from there. That way, ISRO is actually expanding the knowledge for anybody who is interested, and this seems to be something every other nation has to follow.
Absolutely. Pramod, in fact, request you to stay with us at this point. Let me quickly get in a word here. Dr. P.K. Ghosh, a space strategist, also joining us on this broadcast. Dr. Ghosh, many thanks for speaking to us. It is a historic moment for all of us, the Indians, and as the world looks over. What, according to you, is going to be the key moment? The fact that this is a remarkable feat that is going to be achieved by ISRO from moments, from hours from now.
say, one of the most momentous occasions in our history, I would say, because recent history, because we are going to be, and I'm sure this is going to happen. We are going to be successful. Apart from the fact that we are going to be the fourth country to sort of land, do a soft landing, which has been sort of talked ad nauseum. But I don't know how many people know that there have been 38 attempts by different countries earlier to do a soft landing on the moon. And in fact, Israel was one of the countries which tried in January, February this year, and they were not with their sheet. They were not successful. The success rate is only 52%. So I think with today night's incident where we are going to be successful, the success rate is going to be higher. And not only Indians, I think the entire world is looking at us with great sense of admiration and envy, because earlier they really didn't think that we would be sort of capable of achieving this technology, which we have. We have shown the world, earlier 104 satellites, etc. Now going to the moon. Just if I may mention, there have been so many missions to the moon, Apollos, the Soviet Union, the Chinese, but it took our Chandrayaan-1 to find out that there were molecules of water on the moon, lunar surface. So now you see, I think we are getting there. And tonight, I think we'll rightly be proud enough to say that we are probably achieving to become a superpower of space very soon.
Absolutely. Definitely, and ISRO is definitely going to be a force to reckon with after its ambitious moon mission looks to create history tonight. Dr. Ghosh, request you to stay with us with your perspective. Let me also quickly of ISRO. Mr. Nag, many thanks for speaking to us, and I would like to know from you, this is a statement that ISRO Chairman K. Sivan has repeatedly described as saying that the most terrifying 15 minutes of his journey. What does it mean? What are the challenges associated to this?
You see, actually, a soft landing on moon is challenging because of the various factors. First thing is, there is virtually no atmosphere on moon. So you cannot use parachute for landing on moon, unlike on Mars. Mars, you can use parachute. That simplifies to a certain extent your soft landing problem. Since there is no atmosphere on moon, you have to use powered descent. That means you have to use rockets or small thrusters, which are firing the engines towards the moon's surface. And that is the propulsion system. Secondly, we have to use autonomous system. That means you cannot give a command continuously to the propulsion system. You have to give the commands beforehand, and those programs will be stored inside the lander, and the computer and the propulsion system, they have to act perfectly in synchronizing and understanding mode, and that is the most challenging part. And they will be helping guiding the lander to perfect landing at the spot. Now, choosing a proper spot on the moon for the landing is a very important thing. For that purpose, firstly, the orbiter will take pictures of the probable best landing spots. 2 landing spots will be chosen by the scientists, and those will be fed back in the lander again. Then when the lander approaches moon at about 100 meters above the moon surface, then it will take its own pictures and find out those 2 pictures selected by the scientists, and then it will guide its path towards the spot. And it has also got a altimeter and a radar. By using that, it will guide its path. So this altimeter also is a millimeter wave altimeter, specially designed for this purpose, which is an extremely technological challenging path. And then it will be firing 5 engines on the lander, 4 at the corners and 1 at the center. And when it comes at 10 meters, you cannot keep all the 5 engines on, because the moon's dust will really spread and enter inside the lander. So you have to switch off the four corner engines and keep the central engine only on. And then that way you can avoid the dust entering the lander. And the central engine then can reduce the last 10 meters in 13 seconds. It will softly touch down the moon. So that is the extremely challenging part. And I'm sure that ISRO will achieve that.
All right, we'll have to leave it there, Mr. Suresh Nayak, former director of ISRO. Many thanks for joining us with your perspective and explaining to our viewers the challenges and what this really means. And also Dr. P.K. Ghosh for joining us on this broadcast. Well, of course, it is a historical moment today as the world watches over as India's ambitious moon mission looks to create history tonight.